Okay, so my presentation today will deal with the activities we are organizing in south of Italy since 2003 that are related basically with the rural territories, art and new technologies. Basically, the focus of our activities is starts from a question we have raised some years ago because we were aware that something was changing in terms of relationship and of perception of territory in the post-digital age. So the globalization and the advent of new technology of communications were changing the concept of time and space as we knew from the classical physics. And in this new hybrid perception of this territory in which there were no center of peripheries, rural territories could have a new role, and in some way it was possible to discuss also this hierarchy between the center and periphery, and between urban spaces and rural spaces. So rural areas that often suffer for competitive disadvantages in terms of infrastructures, of services, knowledge and opportunities are anyway characterized by some strongly connotative elements such as living sustainability or cultural identity. And in this framework, it's possible to consider a vertical overview that is non-conventional and it's alternative to stereotypes and cliches of rural tourism. And that is achievable not only through increasing the value of cultural, historical, productive and environmental richness of one territory, but as well through improving all the peculiar resources of a territory. So in this interstitial space between global and local, we decided to establish a project in this area that is Irpinia. It's a micro-region in the same region of Napoli. And it's a place, really rural place, that is suffering of immigration of people from 150 years. So after the unity of Italy in 1861, it starts this immigration process from the rural places in the urban, in the cities. And Irpinia is one of the territory that has suffered of this immigration. But it's a territory really rich of agricultural products and traditions and stories, and also rich because of three very famous wines that are Taurasi, Fiano di Avellino, and Greco di Tufo, very well known also in the not only in the region but in Italy, in the whole Italy, and also in foreign countries. We decided to establish this project that is called Interferenze New Arts Festival. In 2003, we were a group of friends who were big fan of electronic music, experimental electronic music at the end of 90s. And so we tried to bring this, some of the artists we like it in our place. And so we started to organize this festival. But this was in the 2003. But from the second and the third edition, we also realized that we were organizing an electronic music and art festival in a place that was rural. So it was different than context than the normal one you have in the big cities in Europe or in Asia or in America. So we decided to use this festival as a platform to experiment, to establish a laboratory in which it was possible to analyze the relationship between local community, artists, and people who were attending the festival. And so this was the first 4 editions of this festival. They were held in this little village of San Martino Valle Gaudina. That is the village where I'm living now. And we have invited several artists from different parts of the world to come and to have performances, and also we hosted talks and laboratories. But since 2006, so these are some images from the first 3 or 4 editions of our festival. And from 2005, we decided to move the festival from a former tobacco factory to the center, the historical center of this little village that is 5,000 inhabitants, and to bring artists in the center of historical town or village, and to meet with the local people who were living there. And so it was like we call it like a sagra, festa of electronic arts in the middle of the old village. And in 2006, we moved the festival in the forest, 5 kilometers from the village. And it was like a big attempt for us, because in this forest, the festival was taking place in the close to a farm, organic farm, and there was no power supply. So we built a completely new village with organic materials close to this farm, and also we brought more than 60 artists from different parts of the world in the forest. And also we started to have this residencies project. It was the first year for us. So the festival was like transforming from an pure entertainment event to like a platform for researching, experimenting on the rural territory. This is, and also one of the main themes of our work is related with food, because food, you know, is a very important topic for Italian culture and for south of Italy. And so it's normally something that the artists that are coming have to in a way, to analyze or to relate with. And also we continued with other projects related with interferenze. For example, this was a residency held in 2007. It was based on this research on this carnival of Monte Marano. That is a little village in the Irpinia region. That is this particular tarantella tradition. That is one of the 4 main traditions of music in south of Italy. So we invited the artists to meet the people, and this during this rite of carnival that was like a procession of people drinking and playing music and walking in the village during the whole day. So the artists were invited to document this day, and also to give them their interpretation of this carnival through some work that were published also later in a DVD that was distributed in a magazine, in a national magazine of electronic music. This is, for example, one of the places the artist visited. This is like a cave where these caciocavallo cheese are maturing. And this was the final performance the artist gave at the theater Carlo Gesualdo in Avellino, presenting their work during this residency. In 2010, we were invited to have an edition of our festival in Tokyo, because a curator from Tokyo, Yukiko Shikata, liked it very much, our work, and invited us to have an edition of our festival, urban edition of our festival in Harajuku. And later in 2010, we launched this theme of Rurality 2.0. It was like the last edition of our festival. It was held in another village in Irpinia. It's called Bisaccia, and we hosted several artists again. And also we started the research on establishing this section called Click and Food, which is like a part of our festival in which we invite the artists to study sound, the sound of food and related with food at the local community. This is Yasuhiro Morinaga, a sound designer from Japan, who is like capturing the sound of barrels of wine in a cellar. And this is like a performance with a cook and a sound artist, Enrico Ascoli. And this is 2012, a really interesting project we have commissioned it to Jo Burziska. She's a wine journalist, an enologist, and she is also a sound artist. So based on some studies from the professor Charles Spence from University of Oxford, based on relationship between sound and listening, we have invited her to explore to capture all the sounds of wines of the Irpinia area. And so she found that every different kind of wine had its particular frequency. So, for example, white wines like Greco di Tufo or Fiano, they have higher frequency, and red wine like Taurasi, lower frequency. So it was amazing, because at the end of this anesthesia project, she had like this workshop in the main square of Tufo, where people were invited to taste from listening and tasting the wine at the same time. And then we decided to move 2 years ago in exploring also another area that is Puglia in the south of Italy. We were invited by a LAG group, that is this, we call it in Italy GAL. It's like an institution working, I think you have here also in Sweden. It's like an institution working on rural development of local territories, and they are working with the Leader Plus fundings program of the European Union. I have to confess that in the past we have worked a lot with this LAG, because in Italy now they are probably the only one institution that they can spend money for working in rural areas. And this is also a project we broke in the Trulli of Alberobello. And finally, 2 years ago, in 2014, we decided to move in another region, which is not so far from Irpinia. It's called Fortore, but it's really peculiar because it's really marginal, really peripheral. One of probably the most marginal regions in the south of Italy, because it's very marginal from a geographical point of view, because there are so many borders in terms of mountains, of geographical borders that make this territory very isolated, but also because they don't have roads, good roads for connecting with main cities. So this was really interesting for us to come into this place and to connect with local community and bring communities and bring our research there. And so we decided to basically to adopt a different approach like I'm going to explain later, because we are now working like in a horizontal way with local communities, with trying to avoid this like power or authority relationship between the artists and local people, and try to co-work to build together with the community, with the local communities, all our projects. And this was like the beginning of Liminaria. That first edition was last year. And the second edition took place one week ago. It was it ended on the 6th of June. And these are some images from this project. But now, at the end, we don't have, now we are not organizing residency projects or only festival, but it's like in a hybrid format. We had the chance to experiment hybrid formats in this year. So Interferenze is not anymore now a festival, but is like a platform for researching on rural territory, but using different contexts and different approaches. So Liminaria now is not only an art residency, but is an art residency plus a work with schools, for example, laboratory with schools. We decided to like activate nodes of local networks and connect with the important nodes of local networks. For example, working on young people, on students, because we were aware that there is like a disconnection, a gap between young people, students, and the history of their territory. And also this is like something very, very hard and tough, because they like are looking to different territories, different place, different perspective, but avoiding to have a look on what is surrounding them, no? So we decided to establish this laboratory. This is called Liminaria Edu, in which during the year we are having workshop together with students, and also visit on territories, researchers, connecting students with old people and old producers, farmers, and so they, through using of digital technologies, social media, for example, they can also know well what is their territory, what is the history of their territory, who are the people that are living in their territory. And also we have this workshop during the week of Liminaria. We are like exploring the territory and finding very interesting stories in this territory, stories of old people, stories of people who decided to remain, to stay in their territory, avoiding to go in other cities, for example, to live and they have their activity. And all this is represented, is like something that we were interested is the storytelling topic, because we invite the students and people who are participating to this workshop to like make videos and have this transmedia narration that is going on in the same days that we have this art residency. The food, obviously, is again a very important topic for us. This year, and this is the mayor of San Marco dei Gavoti who is cooking for us, for example. Coming to an overview of our activity in these years, I have to say that at the beginning of our activity, we try to relate with the local institutions and we try to also to find money budget from applications, for example, at European Union fundings, or anyway trying to be engaged with the local politicians, for example, but the more we so during the years, we decided to have a different approach. And you can see that something is changed from this slide, because you have changes in network, but changes in the core, from the festival, from an entertainment aim, we moved to residency and an hybrid format now. So it's very difficult for me to define what is Liminaria now. Liminaria now is not only an event that we are organizing in the week of June, every June. It's because it's like something is going on in the year, over the year, because we are working with schools on local economy, on trying to be engaged with other local networks, for example. We have so many projects in the next years to reinforce this network of networks we are trying to build there. It's changed in terms of territories, from Irpinia to Barcento and then Fortore. It's changed in terms of fundings and grants, because in 2006 we had this big addition, because we got a really great grants from European Union, but it was the only one time we had this. And then we decided to abandon this strategy of applying for European Union fundings, because it was like uncomfortable for us in terms of relationship with people, for example. And but also we decided more and more to have our independence really strong. I can say to you without any problem that the last edition of our Liminaria event, it was organized with a budget of 4,000 euros. 4,000 euros. And we had artists coming from Peru, from England, from Taiwan, we have involved more than 30 people in our organization coming from different parts of Italy. But this was possible only because we have probably the only one, our very strong thing is connotative element is that we have like this big network of people that share with us our mission. And in a way, sharing the mission, sharing the aims can mean that so many people can also leave their job for a week during the year, and they are coming for sharing with us all these events and these projects. And also it's like you can see also many changes in this model, no? Because we started with this self-organized model on the first edition, and then we went to a model co-produced with the institution, no? In terms of institution that ask us for promotion. So, okay, we give you money, but you have to promote our activity. I want that my name has to be shown, for example, in the advertising, the name of my institution, etc. No? Or for example, when LAG groups ask us to organize a project in their territory for this promotional thing, no? Which is something we are not really much comfortable with, because in a way we don't think that rural territories are something to promote or to sell, no? Territories are not market targets, but are places in which you can share with people, in which people can meet and relate with each other. No, territory is not anymore a geographic place or a branding system, but is a medium itself. Is a new medium in a way. No, this is I think the core of our projects. So yes, and also our approach has changed, as I told you before, because 10 years ago we came into territories and we were like a shuttle landing on these territories and bringing art, but this was not a good approach, no. And through the years, we experimented that we prefer to organize things that are not so much big as in the past, for example, as in 2006, but things that are really little, but they are so dense, so intense in terms of relationship with the communities and creating this critical space in which artists and local people and people coming from outside can meet and relate. So yes, I guess it's not so sustainable probably to organize an event like in a strategy in the next years with this low budget. So we hope, and we are working now to find other ways to make more sustainable our event in the future. And it's very difficult because we are trying to experiment new ways to make sustainable also from an economic point of view our event, our project. But I don't think we will make a step backward, and we will come again to relate with the local institution. So for example, with the European fundings. Also because we have a big problem in Italy, in our region, in Campania. That is this difficulty of using European Union fundings. I was reading some weeks ago that our region, Campania, that is the region where is Napoli, had got 1.5 billion from European Union in this last program, 2007-2013, and it was spent only the 38% of these resources. And we are in 2015. We had just this extension of the program until the next October. So in next October, the 2007-2013 program will end. But I think that Campania region will be not able to spend more than 50% of the resources European Union got them. Why? It's a very complex situation, because it's something related, I think, with what Signe before was talking about, this knowledge thing that is very, very important. Because there are so many people working in this region government, they are not able to work. They are so slow. They don't want to take a responsibility to sign acts. So it's very complicated thing. But what I can tell is that what I can say is that more of these fundings are not used, and this is not a good thing in the objective one region as Campania is. That is like the basic level of territories in this European Union politics. So yes, but what I can say is that now we want to start again from this human capital we have in this. We have developed with this Liminaria experience and try to build together with the local community new forms of new models of approaching rural territories in so much isolated and marginalized areas Fortore is. And yes, this will be something we will work on in the next year. Thank you.